Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Christine Wiggins, and today is Thursday, January 29th. Coming up on Cullman Today, Cullman City Council voted to terminate the wastewater plant superintendent. Plus, Good Hope leaders approved a school area traffic study, advanced a hemp sales licensing ordinance, and shared an update on the Taco Bell project. And Alabama GOP Chairman John Wahl is jumping into the race for lieutenant governor. All this plus sports, weather, and more. Now let's take a closer look at the top stories happening in Cullman today. The Cullman City Council voted Tuesday to fire Cullman Wastewater Treatment Plant Superintendent Shannon J. Calloway, 38, of Arley, after a lengthy closed-door executive session. Calloway was arrested December 17th and is charged with 2 counts of aggravated criminal surveillance, a felony. A criminal complaint alleges he placed video cameras in restrooms at the wastewater treatment facility on Welty Road and recorded 2 people without their consent. The complaint says the alleged surveillance happened in a place where the victim had a reasonable expectation of privacy and was done for sexual gratification. Council President Kim Hall said Mayor Woody Jacobs, who was absent from the meeting, met with Calloway after the arrest and later recommended termination. The council was presented with 2 options: ending Calloway's employment or reinstating him from a temporary suspension, and they voted unanimously to terminate. Court records in Alicourt show the criminal case remains pending. Investigators allege a camera was installed in a men's restroom around December 4th. No additional details were discussed publicly following the closed-door session that night. In other Cullman City Council business Tuesday night, members awarded a bid for 1 or more 4-wheel drive regular cab trucks to Long Lewis Automotive for a little over $37,000 and approved a $1.23 million contract with Willoughby Contracting for the 24th Street Southwest Waterline Extension Project. The council also rejected an Omniplex change order and approved a separate change order for the wastewater digester maintenance project that increases the contract by about $294,000. Members rezoned property on Beach Avenue Southeast, approved permits for a February 14th Mardi Gras parade, and extended free speech demonstrations around the courthouse and made multiple board appointments. The next meeting is February 9th at 7 p.m. at City Hall. The Good Hope City Council on Monday voted to move forward with a comprehensive traffic study focused on congestion around local schools, including the new elementary school. The study is expected to cost about $13,000, with the council agreeing to fund it as long as the Cullman County Board of Education reimburses half. Council members also approved an ordinance creating a local licensing process for hemp product sales to match state regulations. The ordinance allows eligible businesses to pursue state licensing while authorizing the city clerk or other designated officials to sign required permission letters for businesses in good standing. Members removed some draft sections, including distance and enforcement language, and the option to revisit those items later. Officials reported sewer operations remained stable during recent heavy rain, with road patching and related sewer work nearing completion. Registration is open for youth baseball, softball, and t-ball through February 16th, and leaders said the Taco Bell site layout work is underway, with more visible construction expected the week of February 16th. The next meeting is Monday, February 9th at 6:30. Alabama Republican Party Chairman and Alabama Public Library Service Chairman John Wahl announced Tuesday that he's running for Alabama Lieutenant Governor in the 2026 election cycle. In a campaign statement, Wahl said he's entering the race with the backing of former President Donald Trump and plans to push priorities tied to the Republican Party platform, including election policy, tax and regulatory changes, job growth, and expanded parental involvement in education. Wahl has led the Alabama Republican Party since 21, and his campaign points to fundraising growth and expanded grassroots organizing during his tenure, including work connected to the 2024 presidential campaign. The statement also highlights Wahl's past involvement with U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville's 2020 Senate campaign and says Wahl would align with Tuberville's agenda if Tuberville is elected governor. Key election dates include the Republican primary on Tuesday, May 19th, a primary runoff on Tuesday, June 16th, and the general election on Tuesday, November 3rd. And that's all for our top stories this morning. Coming up, new AHSAA realignment is reshaping local postseason paths, and Hanceville split with Corner on youth night. Sports is next. Welcome back. It was youth night at Lane Horton Gymnasium as Hanceville split a doubleheader with Corner. In the varsity girls game, the Lady Bulldogs jumped out early and cruised to a 49-18 win, led by Kinsley Farr and Alex Twitty, who combined for 37 points. The varsity boys game flipped after halftime. Hanceville trailed by 8 at the break, but Corner pulled away in the second half and finished a 70-46 win. Drake Bentley paced the Bulldogs with 11 points, with Sam Abney adding 10. Hanceville now turns its focus to area tournament play at Vinemont next Thursday night. Starting this year, Cullman County volleyball and football teams will compete under a new AHSAA alignment that splits public and private schools into separate championship tracks. The two-year model, covering the 26-27 and 27-28 seasons, reshuffles areas and regions by enrollment while keeping regular season scheduling flexible. In volleyball, Addison and Meek stay together in Class 1A, Cold Springs competes in 2A, and Hanceville, Holly Pond, and Vinemont share a 3A area with Susan Moore. Fairview, Good Hope, and West Point land together in 4A with Hayden, and Cullman will play 5A area matches against Arab, Hartselle, and Jasper. Cullman Christian and St. Bernard Prep will compete for the private A title. In high school football, Addison and Meek move into Class 1A, Cold Springs is in 2A, and Hanceville, Holly Pond, and Vinemont will share 3A region. In 4A, West Point lands in Region 7, while Fairview and Good Hope are together in Region 8. Cullman High competes in 5A. Cullman Christian and St. Bernard will follow the private school playoff format. The AHSAA will reevaluate classifications after 2 seasons. Volleyball area tournaments and football region standings will set postseason qualification under the updated format. And that wraps up sports for today. Coming up next, Cullman County farmer Lisa Lake is stepping into a statewide leadership role, plus the Cullman Tribune Pet of the Week. Welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Cullman County poultry and cattle farmer Lisa Lake of Battleground will chair the Alabama Farmers Federation State Women's Leadership Committee, bringing a focus on honest conversations about the realities of farm life and encouraging women who balance on-farm work with jobs off the farm. Lake and her husband, Steve, raise poultry and cattle, and Lake has also worked a variety of roles to support her family, including driving a school bus for insurance coverage. The committee's 2026 plans include Ag in the Classroom efforts, Book of the Year presentations, and member contests that highlight creativity. Leaders also plan to continue a successful online store offering farm-themed apparel, with proceeds benefiting Ronald McDonald House charities. Lake is expected to represent women across Alabama at monthly Alabama Farmers Federation and Alpha Insurance Board meetings in Montgomery. Cullman City Schools is inviting job seekers to its annual spring job fair on Thursday, March 19th. The event runs from 3:30 to 5:30 at Cullman Middle School at 800 2nd Avenue Northeast. District leaders say they're hiring for a range of positions, including certified teachers, instructional assistants, cafeteria workers, support personnel, and clerical staff. Attendees can meet school representatives, learn about openings for the 26-27 school year, and get details on professional development, technology support, and employee benefits. If you're looking to work in one of Alabama's top school systems, this is a great chance to see what Cullman City Schools has to offer and ask questions face-to-face. For more information and to apply, visit cullmancats.net. Governor Kay Ivey announced Friday that applications are now open for the Governor's Office Summer Internship Program, a 9-week opportunity for college students to gain hands-on experience in state government. The program runs from June 2nd through July 31st. Selected interns will work with staff in the executive branch, assist with special projects, and learn more about issues affecting Alabama. Ivey's office says the internship is geared toward current college students with a strong interest in public service and government. The program has also been a starting point for future work in state government for some past participants. The application deadline is March 13th of this year by close of business. For more information and application details, they're available through the Governor's Office website at governor.alabama.gov under the Internship Program page. Meet Greg, a terrier mix with a smile that makes him easy to spot in any crowd. Approximately 5 years old, with a medium energy level, this fine, happy gentleman truly loves to be in your company and thrives on connection. He's the Cullman Tribune Pet of the Week. Greg carries a quiet charm and a steady presence. One of his most endearing features is his left ear, naturally shorter than the other, giving him a look that is both distinctive and unforgettable. He's already neutered, and because of that, his adoption fee has been reduced to $35, which helps cover his vaccinations, microchip, and basic veterinary care. Visit the Cullman County Animal Shelter at 935 Convent Road Northeast. It's open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. If Greg has already found his forever home by the time you inquire, please know that he has many friends at the shelter who are just as deserving and are still waiting patiently for their own forever families. Contact the Cullman County Animal Shelter at 256-734-5448 or Cullman Animal Shelter at co.cullman.al.us. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who lost their lives this week. William Michael England, 79, passed away Friday, January 16th. Interment with military honors is scheduled at 2:15 on Thursday, February 12th at Ohio Western Reserve National Cemetery. Roy James Burnham, 96, passed away Thursday, January 22nd. Funeral service will be at noon on Saturday, January 31st at Cullman Heritage Funeral Home. Burial will follow at Bethlehem West Baptist Church Cemetery. Visitation will be prior to the service at 11 a.m. to noon on Saturday, January 31st at Cullman Heritage Funeral Home. Wanda Lee Reynolds, 92, of Hanceville, passed away on Wednesday, January 28th. A chapel service will be at 10 a.m. Friday, January 30th at Hanceville Funeral Home Chapel. Jerry Wayne Thomason, 59, passed away Wednesday, January 28th. Visitation will be Friday, January 30th in the Holly Pond Funeral Home Chapel. Services begin at noon and burial will immediately follow in High Rock Cemetery in Hayden. Funeral services for Bobby Lavelle Messersmith, 96, of Cullman, will be January 30th at St. Paul's Lutheran Church with interment in the Cullman City Cemetery. He will lie in state from 10 to 11 a.m. Cecil Ray Boyd, 74, passed away Tuesday, January 27th. Visitation will be held Sunday, February 1st from 1 to 3 p.m. at Moss Service Funeral Home. A celebration of life funeral service will follow at 3 p.m. at the same location. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and families. Now let's take a look at your weather forecast. Today, watch for some patchy freezing fog, mainly before 7. After that, we stay mostly cloudy with a high around 45 and light winds. Tonight turns partly cloudy and cold with a low near 25. Tomorrow, we'll have a small chance of rain early, about 20% before noon, then partly sunny with a high near 42. Winds will turn out of the north and pick up a bit during the afternoon. Tomorrow night is the cold one, mostly cloudy, windy, and dropping to around 13 with gusts up to 25. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us, and remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. Until then, I'm Christine Wiggins with Cullman Today. Have a wonderful day, Cullman.